Hi everybody, welcome back to another Asus Rog Ally video. Now remember, in these videos, at the moment anyway, I'm using the non-extreme version of the Rog Ally. The people at Asus UK were kind enough to send me this to check out for a couple of weeks. So we're putting it through its paces, and in this video I wanted to kind of do a bit of a highlight, a bit of a showcase, if you like, for streaming. So the big advantage, or sorry, one of the big advantage is of having a Rog Ally is the fact that it is a Windows 11 gaming PC handheld. So we've got that. So that means we can have the Xbox app, which means we can have Xbox Game Pass games that we can install, PC games that we can install. But also, if you've got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, that means you can then stream games as well, which means that you can play relatively easily games that may well stress the little any handheld gaming PC or even any handheld PCs, and that's by streaming them. Now, the games that you stream tend to be the Xbox console versions of those games, the Xbox Series S or X versions of the games. And obviously, this is completely dependent upon your internet connection. So, a thing I would say is that what I've found is that this works very well at home on a strong internet connection, whereas if you're out and about trying to do this over your phone hotspot Wi-Fi, results may well vary, and it might not be quite as good as that. So let's go through and let's have a look. What plane should we play? So all of this, what you see here, it's not running on the Ally. The Ally isn't having to do any of the rendering beyond just rendering the video. It's not having to render the polygons and everything behind it and having to do the shading. Just put that on like that. There we go. There's just some post coming through, which means that you can save an awful lot of battery life because you're not using the full powered wattage. And I don't know, how about the Vulcan? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Let's go to that one. Let's come off. So it gives you a longer battery life that way. Also means you don't have to install the game, so you're not using up storage. And something like Microsoft Flight Simulator, uses an awful lot of storage anyway. So we've chosen. You'll have to forgive me. I'm quite rusty with this. So we need to go to the world map now, don't we? There we go. Let's go to the world map. And let's zoom in, if I can remember how. How do we zoom in? Is it with the triggers? There we go. There we go. Let's take off from Leon Solent. Here we go. Runway. Set as departure. Fly. So we're getting about 60 frames a second out of this, as you would expect, because the device doesn't have to render it. Now, to get the most out of this version of the Rog Ally, the non-extreme version, what I've done is it's actually running at 720p. In fact, we can just check that. See, the resolution is 720p at 60 Hertz. And I found that the games that are installed natively on the device work much better that way as well. So should we have a little bit of ready to fly? So here we are. Now, the problem we have here. All right, here we go. There we go. I can remember some of the controls. Now, one of the amazing things about the Rog Ally, and this is the extreme and the non-extreme version, is this screen that you see here. This is an LCD, so it's not an OLED. One of the much vaunted OLEDs of the new Steam Deck. It's an LCD, but it's variable refresh rate. And I tell you what, it's one of the closest things you can get to magic, I think, because it makes even low frame rate games look absolutely unbelievable. So let's see if I can remember how to throttle up. Right, there we go. Let's throttle up. We got to turn the brake off. There we go. Let's use a bit of rudder. Ooh, stay on. Stay on. Here we go. Let me just pick that up because we're getting a bit of vibration. And pull back in the gear. How do we do gear? Landing gear. Oh, it's telling me. Do that. And here we are over the Solent on the south coast of the UK. Flaps are retracted. There's the Isle of Wight. And here we are playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, looking absolutely gorgeous at 60 frames a second on a handheld gaming PC. I mean, honestly, this looks... I know it's difficult to probably appreciate how good this looks when you're watching this on YouTube, and this video is being recorded on a mobile phone. Right, we're about to fly over the top of Portsmouth Harbour here, so let's go back to this view. Let's come down a little bit. But it is so... This screen makes things so smooth and run so well that I wish they had this screen on the Steam Deck. Okay, so this is Gosport, and we're about to do a flyover of HMS Victory, the naval base, and there's Spinnaker Tower, and there's the naval base just there. Look at that. I mean, how amazing is this? It is absolutely stunning. Now, streaming games might not be the best for things like first-person shooters, competitive shooters. Undoubtedly, if you're, maybe, platform games that have incredibly fine tolerances for input latency, because, you are going to have a little bit of input latency. But for many, many other games, this is a magical experience. So as long as you've got a good enough internet connection, Wi-Fi at home, then this is very, very good indeed, and thoroughly enjoyable. So while we're flying over the English countryside here, so I will share some thoughts about the Rog Ally as well, because I'm really enjoying myself with this as well. So although I've been sent the non-extreme version of the Ally, because I've knocked it down to 720p 60Hz, the performance in most cases has been more than acceptable. And what I found in comparison to the Steam Deck, because I also own a Steam Deck, what's exciting about the Rog Ally is the fact that you can just switch the window and you're into Windows. And I kind of know, with Windows comes the ability for things like modding and installing all sorts of different games. Now, I know that you can do that on the Steam Deck. You can go into the Linux desktop, and there's workarounds for lots of things. But, I kind of know Windows and can kind of... It's just exciting to have this sort of power, in the palm of your hands. And this is absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it is a subscription service. You are having to pay, I think, is about £13 a month for it. Which isn't cheap over the year, but I guess you've got to kind of make it part of what your expenses are when it comes to playing video games, and you've got to ask yourself, am I saving money are there games on the service that normally I would have to buy that I don't have to buy? So for example, me, I think it was last year, Sniper Elite 5, I never actually bothered buying it because it was on Game Pass. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've never bothered buying it because it's on Game Pass. There's lots of other games on Game Pass that I probably wouldn't be interested in playing, but because you can just try them out. And the beauty with the Xbox Game Pass cloud streaming is that you don't have to go through the rigmarole of installing games and wasting space on your hard drive and wasting time, more importantly. You can just you can just play them via the cloud, and if you don't like it, turn it off. That makes it very a very interesting and alluring idea indeed. So there we go. So I guess maybe what we should do, let's just press that, if I remember how to do this, to quit the game. Right, so let's just quit the game. And let's just have a quick look at the app. So this is the Xbox Game Pass app. So obviously I've got all the PC games that I can install and run natively, and there's many, many, many of them. And then we can go to cloud gaming, and these are... Do they give me a list? All console games. yeah, then we've got, you know, these are all the console games are the ones that you can stream via the cloud, which is absolutely amazing. And there's a great collection going from, you know, very, very modern games through to Xbox 360 games, and even the original Xbox game. There's the odd one of those as well. So hopefully this has been impressive. I'm not saying that the not saying that the ROG Ally is a better choice than the Steam Deck. You know, you're going to have to ask yourself some very hard questions about whether if you've already got a mature game library on Steam, whether you know, and the amazing integration and console-like experience that the Steam Deck gives you is worth less than the ability to have basically, you know, a Windows PC that can install Xbox Game Pass and all of those other things that won't run on Linux because normally because of the anti-cheat. So there we go. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, it like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.